Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Today is day 3 of Pain into Power. So, day 1, we talked about trauma, the ego, the subconscious, your RAS system. Talked about narcissist, honesty, journaling, lessons, learning forgiveness. We talked about a lot in day 1. Day 2, we talked about expanding your mind and your self-worth and your self-love and personal boundaries. So, just real quick, the last few days have been a lot of valuable tools and knowledge, and today will be too. But we've barely scratched the surface. In the next few weeks, I will be launching a course called Release, and that is going to be the topics and things that we've talked about the last couple of days, including today, but it's also going to be a bigger deep dive into it. It's going to be 5 weeks, so you're getting a lot more than you've been getting the last couple of days with Pain into Power. But I will go over a little more of that at the end. And there's some one-on-one options as well. So, today is about manifestation. And I know it's something that is people talk about and you hear about more and more and more, but a lot of people aren't really sure exactly what manifestation is. And to break it very simply, it is turning your desires into a reality. It is just making it happen, basically. So, how many of you have seen the movie The Secret, or read the book, or heard about the law of attraction, and you have done all the things that they tell you to do with both of those, and sometimes you get what you want and sometimes you don't? Well, that's because there's more to it that they don't really talk a lot about. So I know in the beginning when I first heard about it, I've read The Secret and all the other books in that series and many others, but it still felt like something was missing, and I learned later that's because something was. And it's the key points, the key things that you need to know when trying to manifest something. You can't just say, I think I want $10,000, and then boom, you get $10,000. Like, there's so much more to it. You have to be open to receiving it in any way, shape, or form. The how is none of your business. That is up to the universe, God, creator, whatever it is you believe in. You don't get to decide the how, because maybe they have an easier way. You also have to believe that you're worthy of it and that you deserve it and it's safe to have it and that you truly want it, because otherwise you're not going to get it. And that's why you don't always get the things that you're trying to manifest into your life. So we are going to get a little more into it today. Okay? So the first thing when it comes to manifestation is clarity. You have to be crystal clear on what you want and why you want it. If you just say, I want more money, and you're walking down the street and you see a dime, the universe says, ta-da, I just gave you more money. And you're like, well, I really wanted $500. Well, you got what you asked for, but you weren't clear. So you didn't get the $500, but you got a dime. That's more money. That's all you asked for. Ta-da, there you go, have a dime, 10 more cents. So remember, the thing with the universe is ask and it is given. Think of it like your own personal genie. Your wish is my command. So you have to be crystal clear on what it is that you want. And you have to be clear on why you want it. So maybe you want the $500 just because it'll make you happy and excited. Okay, then just say that. It doesn't have to be like super special reason. Like, I just would feel really excited if I had an extra $500 today. And then go from there. And if you say like, it'll just make me happy and excited, which creates a ripple effect, that means everywhere I go, like my energy is going to rub off on people, because the universe is all about service to others, and you being at your best and you being in this wonderful mood and excited, it really does create a ripple effect. It affects everybody that you talk to, and it affects everybody that you come into contact with. So maybe you want the $500 because there's a purse you really want. Well, maybe you shouldn't be asking for the $500. Maybe you should just be like, you know what? I really want this purse. Like, this would make me feel really good. It's beautiful, just whatever your reasons are. And then be open to receiving it in different ways, because maybe you end up getting it as a gift, or maybe it's normally like a $500 purse, and then you just happen to catch it on sale for half off. Well, you're still getting your purse, but you're not spending as much money on it, So you have to be open to the idea that it could come in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so you don't get to tell the universe how it gives it to you. You just tell it what you want. So then, and like I said, back it with a why, and a why that has to do with service, which you just being in a good mood and spreading joy to everybody is of service. That is of service to mankind. It is a service to everybody, because you never know who you're going to run into. Maybe because you got the thing you wanted and you're super excited and you're high vibe and you're running around and you're just having a fabulous day. Maybe there's somebody else who's having a really shitty day, and being in the energy of your presence would change their whole mood and their whole day around. So because of that, the universe will say, okay, like, you have a great reason, and I know that you really want it, so here it is. And then you go about, and maybe that attitude and that energy that you're putting off, you run in, the universe will say, now this person needs your help, and this is how you can help them. And they'll put them in your path for that specific reason, so that you and your bright smile and your energy and your excitement could be what helps cheer them up that day. You never know. Like, the universe is a jokester, for one, so you never freaking know. Have fun with it when you do it. But everything happens for a reason. There's a reason you crossed paths with that person for the day. Guess what? You were of service. You were of service to that person, along with everybody else that you came in contact with. So be very clear, because you'll get what you want. It just may not look like you were thinking it was, and it's because you weren't clear to the universe, God, creator, whatever it is that you're asking, or who you're asking, who you believe in. And then after that, the next step is to observe. And this is where we start getting into stuff that isn't always talked about when it comes to manifestation. Sometimes, so think of it this way, like, here's you, here's the universe, and you're like, I really want this. And the universe says, okay, your wish is my command, and it brings it to you, and then it hits a barrier. So it's right there. It's just far enough that you can't see it, because you have doubts or limiting beliefs around what you want, or feeling worthy of having it. So when the universe hits that barrier, it says, oh, okay, well, she doesn't believe she's worthy, or she doesn't believe she's actually going to get it. So now we need to throw some scenarios her way, because she needs to heal and release this in order to receive what we're trying to give you. And that's where a lot of people get frustrated and they stop believing in it. It's because you have those doubts. You have a belief keeping you from getting it, and the universe is like shining it in your face, like, here, you gotta deal with this mess and then you can have it. You just have to take care of this first. You have to believe in it. You have to believe that you're worthy. You have to believe you can actually have it. So we need you to take care of this before you get it. And that's where people stop, because they're like, I asked for more money and now all I'm getting is chaos. Well, there's a reason that chaos is there. So instead of getting upset, step back and be like, why is this happening to me? That's a victim mentality. A victor mentality will look at it and say, why is this happening for me? What am I needing to learn? What am I needing to heal? So notice any thoughts that come up telling you why you won't get it. Those are the limiting thoughts and beliefs that you have to release and reframe. So ask yourself questions when you have the thing that it is that you're asking for. What's the worst thing that can happen to me if I get it? And then ask yourself, what's the what is the worst thing that can happen if I don't get it? And then you're gonna do on a scale of 1 to 10. How safe do I feel getting it? How worthy do I feel of getting it? Do I believe that I can have it? Do I feel I deserve it? Am I allowing it? And do I really want it? And scale that 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, 10 being I feel completely safe getting it, 10 being I am completely worthy of having it, I totally deserve it, I know that it's mine, I'm going to step back and allow it to come in, and yes, I absolutely want it. So in order to get it, like I said, we have to remove those doubts and beliefs and worries and fears around it. But we also have to feel and believe that we can have it, that we are deserving of it, and that we are worthy of it. And we have to actually really want it. Because if we don't really want it, the universe looks at that and says, well, I know you don't really want it, which means you're not going to appreciate it, which means you're not going to take care of it the way that you should, so I'm not going to give it to you. It's like giving a spoiled kid a toy. You know, no. I'm not going to do it just because you're like, I want that. No. We don't do spoiled. We don't do spoiled brats. I mean, we do spoiled. We don't do spoiled brats. And so you have to really want it. So scale of 1 to 10. Go through each one of those and make sure that you have them all at a 0. And if they're not at a 0, then the next step is we're going to dig deeper into that. And we're going to keep digging until we get to the bottom and the belief behind that block and what's going to keep you from getting what you want. So remember, your ego lies to you. Your ego always lies to you. So when you're asking yourself these questions, do not listen to your mind. Listen to your body, to your intuition, that nudge inside, the gut feeling. Listen to that, not your mind. The first initial response that you get comes from your subconscious, which means that is what you actually believe. If you ask yourself, do I think I'm worthy of it? And your gut instinct right away is yes. And then thoughts start coming in. But what if? But what if? Yeah, but. Yeah, but. That yeah, but and that what if, everything that comes after that is a lie from the ego. So then you could just acknowledge it and be like, okay, well, thank you for that, but I know I'm worthy of it, so I know I'm going to get it. Case closed. And for heaven's sakes, write it all down. You would be amazed at what you can go back and see later that you may not see in the moment that's still holding you back if you don't get it. So the next step that we're going to do is you're going to dig deeper. And I mean dig deeper. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Remember, we pick up beliefs from other people. We pick up beliefs from our parents when we're little kids. If you go to daycare, you pick up beliefs from the other kids and the daycare workers. You pick up beliefs from your grandparents and aunts and uncles and school teachers and anybody and everybody that you are around as a child. Our beliefs mainly come from the ages of like birth to 7. So everybody that you're around, you create a core belief based on what they believe because they have more experience than us. So we just pick up on what they believe. So they're not always yours. That's the thing. You could have limiting beliefs about money that aren't even really truly your beliefs. They're just, you just tell yourself that you believe them because it's something your parents used to say. Like the other day, I brought up the belief about money not being grown on trees. That was something I used to hear my mom say all the time. And then finally I was like, well, I don't believe that because technically money does grow on trees. It's paper, and paper comes from trees. And that is the prime example right there of acknowledging, releasing, and reframing and neutralizing it to be like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, we don't have to stick that belief in our subconscious. We don't have to hang on to that anymore because we know it's not true. We just proved it. So close your eyes and ask yourself, do I believe? And then state whatever thought or belief came up. So like in that instance, do I believe money doesn't grow on trees? And listen for that gut feeling, the first initial gut feeling. And then ask, is this mine? Because maybe it's not even yours. Maybe you got it from somebody else. Maybe deep down you believe there's another possibility and that's not necessarily true. But don't listen to your ego. Listen to your body, that gut instinct, that nudge, that initial response that is always, always, always the answer from your subconscious. It is always your truth. Everything after that is your ego trying to lie to you. Excuse me. So go back through your scale of 1 to 10 and all your low numbers. Ask yourself why. Why do I think that? Why do I feel it isn't safe to have it? You know, if you have a 2 in safety, ask yourself, why don't I feel safe having it? What's the worst thing that can happen to me if I get it? What's the worst thing that could happen if I don't get it? Acknowledge the fear and be okay with not getting it, but all those reasons that come up why it's not safe, why you're not worthy, whatever it is that your low number is, those are all the blocks and beliefs that will keep you from getting it. And those are the things that you need to release and reframe. So acknowledging the fear and being okay with it, it neutralizes and releases the power behind it. So remember, we talked about that in day 1. So dig deep until there's no more. Till you can't just keep asking yourself, is there anything else? Is there anything else? And keep going until nothing else comes up, and then move on to the next one. Okay? So then the next step is to reframe. Choose a new belief. reframe those limiting beliefs and blocks that you came up with to be a positive. Repeat it over and over, read it, write it every day until you believe it, And if you're having trouble getting behind it, again, just every day, what if I believed I could have it? What if I believed I was worthy of it? What if? It is a great way to quiet that ego, neutralize the power, and expand your mind to start believing that maybe it is possible for you. So then step 5 is about your energy and emotions. So take a moment, close your eyes, and take a couple of deep breaths and imagine you just received the very thing that you're asking for. How does it feel? How do you feel right now in this moment, knowing that you just got it? Because that feeling that you have, that is the vibrational match, the energetic match to your desire. And the more you feel that feeling throughout the day, the sooner what you're trying to manifest will get to you. So remember the emotion and the energy that you're feeling in that moment. And throughout the day, if you need to, stop for a moment and just do that again. Close your eyes and just take a deep breath in and just imagine that you just got it and feel that feeling again. And then you get excited and you're happy and you're like, woohoo, this is freaking amazing. And then keep going about your day. Do whatever you can to stay in that feeling, in that vibrational match, in that energetic match. And then release it. First off, remember, like I said a few minutes ago, the how is none of your business. You do not get to decide. One time, a few years ago, this is when I was first learning about manifestation and I was playing with it because it can be fun. I know it doesn't seem that way sometimes, but it can be fun. Have fun with it. Play around with it. See what feels good to you. So one time I was playing around with it and the desire that I wanted was money. And I had a specific amount of money that I wanted. And I'm not going to say how much it was. But I went through all my steps and I released it. I let it go. I was this or something better. It's how I end all of them. This or something better. This or something better. A couple of days later, I got a phone call from my stepdad's dad, which totally caught me off guard. My stepmom and my mom at that point in time had been divorced for a couple of years, and I know that my dad, or my stepdad and his dad, they didn't talk much. They didn't have, they're not super close. So for the 20 some years that my mom and him were married and together, we didn't see his dad very often, like a handful of times. So it totally caught me off guard when he called me. So he wanted my mailing address, which I thought was kind of odd because, okay, he's calling me out of the blue and he's asking for my mailing address, okay? And he said that he had something for me. So my initial thought was, I thought it was like pictures or something. Maybe he had, because I know when my brother graduated, I think when I graduated, and a couple other times there were family functions that him and his wife came and stuff like that. And so my first thought was just, oh, maybe he's got some old pictures he found or something and he wants to mail them to me. So I gave him my P.O. box because I had just moved and it was just easier that way. So a few days later, I check the P.O. box and there is a card and a check in the mail. And I totally blew me away. I was not expecting that at all from him. So the check also happened to be more than I asked for. when I was playing with my manifestation. It was more than I told the universe I wanted. So when I called to thank him, because like I said, I was not expecting it. I was shocked. I called him to thank him, and he told me that he had just sold one of his rentals, which I knew he had quite a few of. He told me he had just sold one of his rentals, and the money that he got from it, he decided to split it up and gift it to the grandkids. Well, at that point in time, honestly, I didn't even know that he even considered me a grandkid. That's how many times, or how few times, I was around that man in all these years. And so I thought it was very, very, very generous and nice of him, and completely unexpected. I was not expecting it at all. But yeah, like I said, I got more than I asked for, but I did get what I asked the universe for in a completely unexpected way. I never in a million years would have thought that I ever would have gotten a penny from that man at any point in my life. So release the need and don't worry about the how. The how is none of your business. Okay? So step 7 is the power of now. Be in the moment now. Embody the person who has it now. What else can you do to feel that whatever feeling it was that you felt when you imagined just getting it? Like, what else could make you feel that way? Do that now. Be grateful for what you have now. The universe is not going to give you more if you are not grateful for what you already have. That is why we learn, and we talked about the other day, about being grateful even for the little things. No matter how horrible your situation is, there's always something to be grateful for. You are alive. You are breathing. You are watching this video. Those are 3 things right there to be grateful for. And the more grateful that you are for what you have, the more magic you attract into your life anyways. You end up bringing things into your life you had no idea you even wanted, because you are just, the universe likes to give and give and give, but not if you're not grateful. It doesn't want to give you a damn thing if you're being a little brat. I tell my daughter all the time, we can do spoiled, but we don't do spoiled brats. And I've told her that since she was a baby. I'll do spoiled. She's an only child, so it's easy to spoil her. But I've always told her, Mama can do spoiled, but Mama doesn't do spoiled brats. And the universe is the same way. It'll spoil you rotten, but not if you're a brat. You have to be grateful for it. Okay? So the power of now, learning to be present in the moment. Be grateful. What can you do right now? And listen for any kind of inspired action to come in, any intuitive nudge, ideas, thoughts. Just get a feeling to do something, go somewhere. One time, what was it I asked for? I wanted something. I don't know, something free, I don't know. I forget what it was. Maybe it was a coffee. I think I wanted a coffee. I was just playing around one day. I said I want a coffee. And a couple hours later, I suddenly just got the urge to go to the coffee stand. And it was later than I would normally drink coffee anyway. And my daughter was, I don't know, playing in a room or something. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go down and get a coffee. So I left, and the guy in front of me bought my coffee. So I got my coffee. Like, I was going to just pay for it myself. But then when I got there, somebody else paid for it. And then I paid it forward because service. So I paid for the car behind me. So you never know. Sometimes you're just like, fuck it. I'll just take care of it myself. I do it myself. And then boom, somebody pays your bill. You never freaking know. You have to be open to receiving from anywhere and everywhere. Okay? It's magic. Think like a little girl. How enthused we were with like Disney princesses and all that other stuff because it's all magic. Guess what? Life is still magic, no matter how old you are. And the more you learn how to handle it and deal with it and kind of, I don't want to say handle it because that's not the right word, but the more you learn how to use it, how it's supposed to be used, the more magical things are. Okay? So then the last step is lean back. Go do something fun. Go do something creative. Do some self-care, some kind of self-love. Walk away. Make space to receive it. You have to give it space or it can't come in. When we hyper focus on the things that we want, it actually puts us into an energy of fear and lack. And it's fear that we won't get it, lack of not having it. We suffocate it and we block it from coming in. So go do something else. Listen and follow the intuitive nudges that come in and just expect miracles. Be in that feeling of knowing you're going to get it. It is coming to you. But be open to the guidance to lead you there, because like I said, it's not always the way you think it might come in. You know, like when I asked about the money, I was working a lot. I was dealing with a couple of clients. I was selling real estate. And like in my mind, I figured the money, I guess in the back of my mind, I figured the money was going to come in from one of them finally getting an offer accepted. Well, not even fucking close, dude. Matter of fact, the people I was working with, they ended up moving out of fucking state and they sold their house themselves. So, yeah, I spent like months. That's the downside of real estate for any of you that's never been a real estate agent, is you get clients that you do show them 10, 20 houses and make multiple offers, especially in a hot market, just to turn around and have them walk away and not make a dime. And you spent money on advertising their house, driving around, you know, showing them house after house after house. And yeah, because we had listed their house and then we took it off the market and declined an offer and took it off the market because they couldn't find one and get an offer accepted. And they had 3 small children. They didn't want to not have a home. So their whole thing was it needed to be a contingency situation. And the way that the market is, I mean, it's on fire. It should go fast, but their house was ready to go super fast. It was just finding them somewhere to go. And then, like I said, like a year, they ended up just taking off the market and saying they're just staying there. And then like a year later, they sold it themselves and moved out of state. So yeah, anyways, also, the more you heal, the more you work on yourself, and the more you heal and clear your past shit out, the more you become a manifesting magnet. You don't have as many blocks to worry about. You don't have the beliefs. You can go through all your steps way faster. Like I can sit here, I don't even have to write it anymore. I can sit here and release it and reframe it in my own mind, talking to myself in about 2 minutes and be done. Where I used to sit down and take a lot longer than that. But not anymore. Because our natural state of being is a high vibration. That energy that you feel, the excitement that you felt when you imagined yourself just receiving it, that is our natural state. That is how we're supposed to feel all the time. But our human conditioning and everything surrounding us brings it down. So when you clear things out and you don't have the things holding you back and keeping you down anymore, and you're naturally just always at a higher vibration, you're always energetically a vibrational match for the things that you want. So you're just like, you know what? I want this today. Boom, you freaking get it. Like, I have a friend that was like, universe, I want a new mattress and I want somebody to bring it in. And like, she went through all this stuff about what she wanted, and like an hour later she went to go leave her apartment and there was a guy outside selling the exact mattress that she needed. I forget the reason behind what she said why. Like, he had a business and he was trying to clear out, like he had an overstock and was trying to clear it out, and he carried the mattress into her house for her. It was like everything that she wanted within an hour. It can happen that fast when you clear the shit out and you don't have all the crap holding you back anymore. And embodying, being the person that has it now. Be that person. Embody the type of person who attracts things. Like I said, we naturally do it the more we heal and the more we clear things out. We're magnets. Think of yourself as like a giant magnet. And you're always magnetizing something to you. Always. Whether you realize it or not, we're always manifesting. We're always drawing things to us. But it is up to you to decide if you are attracting more chaos and bullshit, or are you attracting magic and miracles? Believe it or not, it is your decision. So, step 1, clarity. 2, observe. 3, dig deep. 4, reframe. 5, your energy. 6, the power of now. And 7, lean back. Is that all? Don't mind me. See, this is why I have all my little notes. Oh, yeah. See, this is why I have notes, because I forget. So the first one is be clear. And then observe. And then dig deep. Maybe I just numbered them wrong. Reframe. Energy. Release. This is why I have notes. Release, the power of now, and lean back. Those are your steps. Holy criminy, if I numbered them correctly from the get-go, that would have been great. And like I said, learning to live in the now is the biggest secret to living life fully. We often get so focused on the past or the future. I'm totally guilty of it. I've done it myself. But we get so focused on the past and the future that we're not being fully present in the moment. And we get caught up on our computer, we get caught up on the phone, and we let some of the most intimate moments in our life pass us by. And being in the now, that is the secret to fully living life. That is the power behind really getting the things that you are trying to do. Like I said, the universe ain't gonna give you shit if you're not grateful for what you have. And if you're not giving love and attention and focus to the things that you have now, then it's gonna say, no, you gotta learn and love and appreciate that stuff before I give you anything else. So be present in the now, be happy now, be grateful now, and watch your whole life change for the better, okay? So I know we've gone over a lot the last 2 days. And thank you, everybody, for being here with me. We all have the answers inside of us. We just have to learn to ask the right questions. And like I said before, sometimes our ego blocks us. It won't let us. It's meant to keep us safe. And digging deep into our fears and our trauma can be scary, which tells our ego that it's not safe. And so it goes into overdrive. And sometimes we can do it on our own, and sometimes we need help getting there. There's a lot of things I can do on my own, but there's times where when it's something big, I go to another coach. I have coaches that I work with. I have other friends that are certified in the same modalities that I am, and me and my friend Melanie, we do swaps on each other all the time. We're like, hey, you know what? This came up and I can't clear it out myself. I need your help. Okay, let's set a date and time and we'll do a session and get it taken care of. Let's get rid of that shit. And then, like I said, I haven't set a launch date yet, but I will within the next few weeks. So I'm launching a new course called Release. We will be digging way deeper into the stuff we talked about in the last 3 days, plus a whole lot more. It's going to be a 5-week major deep dive. This one will be a paid program, and there will be a payment plan. So I'll release more details in the next few weeks. I do also, in case you don't know, I do have one-on-one sessions available and coaching packages available. So I know I talked about it a little bit on day one, but Pain into Power is something that's been close to my heart for a long time, because this is everything that I've taught you guys the last couple of days is things that I personally have done. It is things, and I paid a lot of money to multiple coaches to learn a lot of it. Some of it is things I've learned in the last 8 months that would have been really fucking handy to know 3 years ago. It would have made a huge difference for me if I knew it in the beginning. But there's a lot of people, especially if you have been a friend or a family or on any of my social medias for a long time, a lot of people have made comments about noticing how much I've kind of transformed myself and my life. And so I do get people reach out often needing help, or they have a friend or somebody that they know needs my help, and many times their hold back is financially. Maybe you don't have the money, maybe you're not the one in control of the money. I know when I was married, smaller purchases, like I don't remember what it was, like under $100 or something like that, wasn't a big deal. But anything over that, we had to discuss with each other. And he didn't, at that point in time, he didn't believe in any of this stuff. There's no way he was going to say, yeah, go ahead, pay for that course, pay for a session with that coach. Like, no freaking way. I didn't start paying for a lot of that stuff until I was going through the divorce and our finances were separate. And he couldn't tell me that I couldn't spend the money on it. But I also know, depending on your circumstances, when you are at that really low point and you just desperately need help and you don't know where to start, money should not be the reason you should not be able to get some of this information. It is stuff that everybody has a right to know. And that's why I really felt deep inside in my core and my heart that I needed to do this initially, just do this as just a free, and this will be free forever. I'm not going to charge for this, but it's enough information to get somebody started, to start helping them, to learn some tools to start bettering themselves, to change their circumstances. And then as things change and you grow and whatever your position is gets better, then if you want to pay to work with me, great. And if not, then I hope you find somebody you feel resonates with you that can truly help you. but at least you have something to help you now, because I would have loved to have found all that for free in the beginning. And some of the information I shared would have been handy to know 3 years ago. But there's a reason I learned everything the way I did, because I learned a lot of lessons along the way. And if I would have learned a lot of it in the get-go, I wouldn't have learned all of those lessons, and I wouldn't be able to be here right now giving this information and resources and tools to you. I wouldn't be able to help people the way that I do. So thank you again for being here the last couple of days. I truly love and appreciate every one of you, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye for now.